At the end of the second video, I was discussing the temperature of the universe and that, according to the theory, it should be around 3 degrees today, i.e. in the realm of the microwaves. Two Bell Labs scientists named Robert Wilson and Arno Penzias accidentally discovered that the astrophysicists were bang on. In 1964, Wilson and Penzias were working on a new horn-shaped antenna to scan for microwaves for the purpose of communication with satellites. As they were experimenting, they noticed a background noise they couldn't eliminate. They tried everything to get rid of the noise, including removing pigeon droppings from the surface of their antenna. No matter what they did, they kept detecting a constant microwave sound around the 3 degrees Kelvin range as had been predicted by the Big Bang theory. But the two men didn't realize what they had found, since they were not astrophysicists themselves. To their surprise, the discovery turned out to be extremely important and earned them a Nobel Prize in 1978. They had found another important proof of the Big Bang. The first one was Hubble's, when he discovered that galaxies were moving away from one another. Wilson and Penzias' work showed that all the researchers' calculations were right, and that the universe had grown about 1,000-fold since the time atoms first started fusing. The two men had accidentally come across what is called the cosmic microwave background radiation, or CMB. You too can hear and see the CMB with a very simple experiment using either a radio or an old TV set that has to be manually tuned. Using the radio, find a point where you do not hear any sound coming from a station. That's it. You're listening to the CMB, a leftover of the Big Bang. The same experiment can be done with an old-style television. The static you see and hear between TV stations is exactly the same thing, the remains of the Big Bang. Georges Lemaitre was lucky enough to find out about Wilson and Penzias' discovery before he died in 1966. Before we go any further, there is something very important that we have to realize about science. Theories are constantly tested and retested. The Big Bang and the CMB are no exceptions to this rule. In 1989, the satellite Cosmic Background Explorer, or COBE, was placed in a sun-synchronous orbit where it started spinning in all directions, mapping in the process the cosmic microwave background for the first time ever. The resulting picture showed that the temperature of the CMB is not perfectly uniform, but the differences are only in fractions of a degree. It is not exactly 3 degrees Kelvin either, but 2.725 kelvins. But more importantly, the picture created by the COBE satellite represented yet another proof that the Big Bang did happen. Should Wilson and Penzias' detection of the CMB and COBE's depiction of the same event be enough for scientists? Not at all. Better, more precise instruments were built, and on June 30th, 2001, the WMAP satellite was launched and reached an orbit 1.5 million kilometers from the Earth. Why so far? It was to minimize any potential microwave contamination from the Sun, our planet, and the Moon. Thanks to this second satellite, we have sharper, more detailed pictures of the CMB than before. The Big Bang theory is constantly tested, and so far, all results have proven Lemaitre right. It doesn't mean that it explains everything either. Just like the first law of gravity didn't completely please Newton and left a lot of holes to be filled, the Big Bang is not complete. Scientists have had to assume the existence of an invisible matter they call dark matter, and an unknown force that is pushing the galaxies away faster than they should normally do, and called it dark force. The dark matter cannot be seen as light travels right through it. Yet, because of the effects of gravitation on light, the presence of dark matter can be seen. It causes a lensing effect that can be observed wherever it is present, allowing astrophysicists to map the dark matter's presence. The strange-looking ring seen in this picture is basically a map of an area where there is a lensing effect that has been superimposed on a Hubble Space Telescope picture. Some dark matter is located in that ring. Astrophysicists are working hard and still pushing the boundaries of science. If mankind had stuck to the God did it explanation, we would barely have made it past the Earth is round stage. It took men like Newton, Einstein, Lemaitre, and countless others to advance our understanding of the universe. These great minds have something in common: an insatiable thirst for knowledge, one of the best attributes of humanity. As for the young Earth creationists, they probably would have been at the head of the line of people damning Galileo because what he said went against the Bible. The scariest part is that those fundamentalists have barely accepted any discoveries made by astronomers since Galileo's days back in the 17th century. Why? For the same reason Galileo had to face the Inquisition. Science's explanations don't agree with the Bible. The Roman Catholic Church may have condemned them 4 centuries ago, but thanks to one of its priests, we have the Big Bang Theory today. Thank you very much for watching this video. I would ask you to take a second to rate and add your comments. If you haven't subscribed yet, I invite you to do so. There will be plenty of both interesting and funny stuff ahead.